been the main support of my two boys who have both got quite complex needs. The main barrier for them is when you go to a GP, they see the disability as opposed to seeing the person first.
Do you like going to the doctor?
I do. I feel happy, and maybe I'm maybe a tiny bit nervous because I feel scared.
It's a can't do as opposed to what you can do. And my boys surprise me every day. And what do you think would be better for half?
Better for half?
Yeah, what do you think would be better for Harvey? Should the doctor talk to Harvey or not talk to Harvey?
Yes, talk to Harvey.
Yeah. I think so as well.
If you don't know, drop what you think you know about autism. There's a recent experience where somebody said to me, I don't look autistic, and I said, thanks. Drop what you think you know if you don't know, and learn when you meet them.
Arranging the appointment in the first place can be a challenge. I find phone calls really, really stressful and anxiety provoking.
I guess because there's not so much non-verbal communication going on, and I have to try and guess what they're trying to say to me.
The easier it is for me to make an appointment, the better. So if I can go online and make an appointment, that's brilliant.
That means I don't have to talk to anybody at all. It's black and white, it's either you've got the appointment or you haven't got the appointment.
With that, I can formalise what the problem is, the timeline. That helps me to show them, doctor, there's something wrong. I need to find out where the issue is.
I think being kind to people goes a long way. By the time you've got to the doctor's surgery, you're probably already quite flustered.
So the exercise for the sort of front of house staff, I would hope, would be to keep everything calm. And it may sound obvious, but people don't go to the doctor's surgery unless they're feeling unwell, in which case they're not going to be at their best. And if you're autistic on top of that, then we're definitely not going to be at our best.
When they first get into the building, if they're nice, they say, oh, welcome to the surgery, can I help you? Do you have any questions before you go into the surgery? And then my family will be supporting me as well.
Sitting in a waiting room for the doctors makes me feel quite nervous. It's a place where people are unwell, as well as the noise or the light. It's all making me nervous, all of it.
There's probably a child screaming, there's background music playing because the thinking is, oh, we need to make it more confidential. But it just makes it harder.
I'm trying to encourage them to designate a quiet area for autistic people, because that would really help.
We have to get the best we can out of our appointments because they're very valuable. It's very hard for anybody, but especially for people who have autism, to communicate across, and especially if you're feeling very upset or anxious. It is nigh on impossible, and quite often you might get into that room and burst into tears.
If I was in the GP surgery and they said, oh, you can't have your family in this room, my autism won't cope if I'm there on my own. He's got a disability, he has to have a family with him.
One of the first things that I find really important is having continuity of care, especially when it's something personal about me or my health, or something that might be quite difficult to talk about. It's not always easy for me to translate what I'm experiencing and what's going around in my brain into a coherent sentence, for example. So processing information can sometimes take a little bit longer.
They'll start to get that, right, first 3 minutes with Bill, forget it, talk about the weather. I recognise saying that how pressured they are for time, but the long-term goal is I might be able to tell you the first appointment what's wrong with me.
With GPs who are in a hurry, they'll say this, this, this and this. And while I'm thinking about the first thing they've said 2 or 3 other things, and I've sort of lost track and I'm trying to work out what they've said. Allowing time to digest what's being said and checking that people have understood what you've said would be excellent.
Not every autistic person is good at trying to work out, is their pain 0 or 10 or 7 or 6? There are some metaphors that a lot of autistic people struggle with. It's an extra thing trying to process, oh, hang on, what do they mean? They might use an analogy, you're fit as a fiddle, think of your body as a car, that sort of thing.
With myself, I find that it's easier to write things down because it's a 5-minute appointment or 10-minute appointment. Nerves can overtake, so I quite often have written down what's going on or what it is I'm worried about beforehand.
If you're going to do something like blood pressure, just get permission before you start touching people. Explain step by step what you're going to do.
It might be partly that literal speech, I guess. Tell me it's going to sting like a bee. I'm expecting the pain to what a sting like a bee is. Tell me it's a sharp scratch and it stings like a bee. I think they've done it wrong.
Having autism and special needs, it's very difficult. We're all different, and sometimes when you have special needs, you just want to go into your own bubble space in your head.
I think it's really important to not make assumptions about any one person in particular, because I don't think there is any rule book with autism, and that's why it's a very difficult condition really, because quite often people will say you seem fine to me.
Very often we're perceived to either just be hypochondriacs or difficult or have a personality disorder. That's a classic one, particularly with women. More and more people are starting to understand it now, which is really helpful. Unfortunately, there are still some who are less aware.
For me, now at this stage, from what I learned years ago, I'm proud to be autistic. It makes me who I am. And I would love to have a badge saying I'm autistic and proud, and I love to inspire others.
If you're aware that you have somebody that's neurodivergent, autistic, just put the pen down for a minute and listen. Because actually for a lot of it, in my own experience, I don't need anything different. I just need to be heard.
Reasonable adjustments are not just an add-on, they are a legal requirement. Autistic people are not asking for anything extra. They are just wanting to access their healthcare needs in the same way that everybody else can.